Welcome to the next ICG webinar. With 2021 round the corner, UK estate agency and letting agency is going to get really tough next year, and therefore your marketing is going to have to really work for you to get a bigger slice of a smaller pie. So the question is, what makes for powerful marketing to get you those leads, to get you those vendor and landlord leads, and how do you decide which people to target, especially on the demand side and the supply side? So what I'd like to do is let's talk about what does good marketing look like in a estate and letting agency. I'd like to go to Sandra first from Reapit before we get down to nuts and bolts of what is marketing, what's the true essence of marketing about in a estate and letting agency?
The true essence, I would say, Chris, is the same as it is for whatever other product it is that you're selling or buying, right? And that is finding an audience with which you resonate, which you know that you can serve to the very, very best of your ability, finding out what it is that they want and then delivering on that.
You see, most estate agents letting is quite selfish in the fact that it talks about themselves. It's like the person at the party who talks about themselves all night. Do you think that type of marketing, you know, look at us, we're brilliant, we've sold this many houses, look at our rewards, our market share is this big. Do you think that is good marketing?
Absolutely not. Do you know what? There are so many people out there that's willing to serve your prospect, your customer, and you've got to find a way of meeting their needs. Because when they come to you, when your customer comes to you, it's all about their needs. How can you help me to sell this property? And it's such a high investment, a high risk transaction that they're almost oversensitive to your authenticity and your willingness to help and your honesty and your truthfulness. So it's actually one of the sort of more sensitive, harder transactions to run, and so marketing is so critical, to be honest.
Why do you think estate agents love talking about themselves and what they've done as opposed to talking about the problems and or being the solutions that they can provide to the problems that vendors and landlords have? Heather?
Yeah, we look at this a lot in Spectre because obviously we have the luxury of being able to see thousands of agents' letters, but also the return on investment that they get. And interestingly, whilst I definitely agree with both of you, we found that agents that did put awards on their marketing material tended, on average, to do better than those that didn't. And I think it's a really difficult problem for estate agents because if you only talk about the potential vendor's needs, every agent could potentially have exactly the same message. So you do have to talk about yourself just a little bit because you've got to differentiate yourself. So Chris, I know you're going to massively disagree with me, but the other, I think, you know, as an agent, you do have to make sure that you set yourselves apart somehow. And if you're just talking about them, how are you doing that?
I mean,
good, right?
Yeah, but done in the right way. And it's like Rightmove pie charts, just lopping it out, saying, look at me, look how big my share of the pie is. I don't think it's clever. But if you made the vendor the hero and talked about how you guided them and supported them through it, you know, and winning awards, don't say, hi, we've won the Sunday Times. No, that's not round anymore. But basically, you know, we go the extra mile. Let me tell you some stories of where we've helped people, and one of the reasons is we've won the award. Then people say, well, I can see why you've won it, but not just say, oh, we're the winner.
Interestingly, obviously these awards are meaningless to the recipient, but the fact that there is an award on there, I think, subconsciously provides some sort of reassurance that actually this agent might be doing something.
It's like most proof. Yeah, it's like most. Go on, Ben. Sorry.
I was going to say that awards sit there with reviews, don't they? You know, it's like we all love reviews. Everyone's buying stuff off the back of reviews. But I think it's that whole thing of when do you deliver them? You know, have you got some clear messaging? Are you saying it in a thoughtful way? Are you using some thoughtful imagery? You know, my cliched line of ban the Lego house, the handshake and the keys images. You know, that's an immediate no-no. And every time I say it, it's like everyone does laugh, particularly agents, because they're on 95% of their sites. But yeah, so just getting the balance right and serving up that little compliment of, by the way, we won the award. award. And by the way, you know, we got 5-star reviews from those people who were asking about that very service you're looking at. So it's timing, isn't it?
We can get the vendors on video. Now again, let's look at marketing. We've got to split it into two. One is getting the houses sold. Plug and play estate agency is obviously Rightmove and the portals. But Gordon, talk to me very briefly about how we can use social media marketing to get properties in front of people so we're not so reliant. And then we'll go on and talk about the supply side, which is vendors and landlords. But start off with buyers and tenants and the power of social media marketing.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, social's just about understanding who you're speaking to. If you've got the detail of what their likes, their preferences, what they're doing, you've got a picture of what they look like, and you can actually then run campaigns that are optimized in real time to serve them the right message on the right platform at the right time, you're significantly increasing your chances of doing business with them. And back to your point, Chris, if you just put out, we've sold all of these houses, it doesn't really mean anything. But if you are focusing your campaigns down to almost a street level and saying, we've sold all of these houses in your very area over asking price within X amount of time, then suddenly that's much more pertinent to them. And they can feel.
Because again, you know, you do talk to Gordon, but he has the power to search for basically parents who take their kids to a primary school. We can put a geolocator on that school, and we all know primary schools have a catchment area. So you basically, if they go anywhere near the school, they can be served an advert saying, do you want to move up to the next house so you can send your kid to St Cuthbert's? I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, again, right, Heather, let's go to the other side, which is your vendor and landlord supply. What do you specifically do at Spectre to help estate agents with their vendor leads?
Oh, a lot. I mean, Spectre's evolved a lot over the last 5 years. I think we do so much. A lot of it is around second instructions, but we also have off market, so you can filter down, similar to what we were just saying then, in terms of being able to filter by property type, estimated value, specific area, so you can really hone your marketing down to who you're targeting. We do a lot. We try and share as much as we possibly can with our clients in terms of our insights in terms of what works and what doesn't work. So things like the awards, even though they might be meaningless, you know, if you got one, get it out there, and the type of content as well that works. And we do a lot of that social proof that we just mentioned as well. So 2020s and 2020 are sold in your area, but sold in your area just to the properties that are currently on the market. I mean, there's loads of stuff that we do now.
It's very powerful. Ben, bring in what you guys at Starberry can do for estate agents without being too expensive.
Well, it's again, you know, the great partners that we have in ICG Approved. You know, for example, we're working really closely with Rory on data loft. So people want to be able to, you know what house price is, all the latest sort of market data. You know, you can dynamically pull that into your whole valuation process. We're working really closely with Matt at Sprift. You know, you want a bunch of comparables and really drilling down to demonstrate the knowledge you have around a property. All of this we're pulling in to your whole sort of web experience. And of course, passing it over to Sandra's team, which is even more awesome.
I mean, the stuff that Dataloft do. I mean, even though they are a competitor of mine personally, it is amazing.
We have just got a Spectre and Dataloft integration as well, which is super cool. For any mutual clients.
And what Sprift are doing as well with just jaw-droppingly good stuff. And I think it's like most things, boys and girls in estate agency land, there's so much data out there. Use it to your advantage. Make yourself look different. If you look at all of the surveys, the biggest one that people want is the agent that normally sells houses like this, but more importantly, the ones who seems to know what they're talking about. And that's the power of marketing. Marketing is trying to persuade somebody to do something. You want them to put their house on the market with you. Rightmove has created a level playing field where we all look equal. So use that wonderful data to stand out like a sore thumb and make yourself look awesome. Right, we are nearly on the 10 minutes, and I just want to say thank you very much for everyone for appearing on this webinar, and we'll see you on the next ICG webinar, where we'll be able to help and guide and support you not only to thrive, but to survive, but to thrive in this future estate agency and letting agency market. So thanks very much. Say goodbye, everyone, boys and girls.
Bye.
No worries.